distinguished senators, members of the House of Representatives, and other distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my tax collector, and I can't see any PRC. I thought they would be sufficient to represent us. Otherwise, my name is Mele, Kyari, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the NNPC Limited. Mr. Chairman, the letter that we received was very clear on the expectations from us. It asks specifically that was the statute establishing the entity that we are representing today. And I would like to thank you because the NNPC Limited was a creation of the National Assembly. It was created by the PIA 2021 into a commercial company that will follow all the rules of engagements of all private entities, just so much as Shell, Chevron, and the rest of them operating in our country. And Mr. Chairman, I would like to specifically say that this has worked for our country, and you now have a commercial national oil company that obeys all rules, regulations, that is bound by all the provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act, and also the Company and Allied Matters Act and all other corporate governance standards that every company of our status and our type of business operates and respects. Mr. Chairman, I'm very happy to say that this development has brought many things on the table, from a loss-making corporation up to 2020 to a clearly a profit-making company by the end of fiscal 2024. The implication of this, Mr. Chairman, is that we meet all our obligations, taxes, royalties, and declare dividend to the tune of over 3.5 trillion naira by the end of fiscal 2024. Mr. Chairman, I would like to also emphasize that we are clearly an oil and gas company, and this company operates within the space created by our laws. And I believe that the chairman of FRS and also the chief executive of NUPRC is here. Otherwise, they will confirm that we obey all the rules, all the regulations, the fiscal terms that are applicable to every other company in the country. And on the basis of this, we make all our remittances So by provisions of the law, we are no longer required to make payments into the consolidated revenue account. So we pay taxes and royalties to the FRS and the NUPRC respectively, and ultimately to declare dividend, and we make these payments to the accounts established by the shareholders of the company, in this case, the Ministry of Petroleum Incorporated and the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, both of them resident in the Central Bank of Nigeria. And therefore, you will not see any inflow from NNPC directly into the consolidated revenue account of the Federation, which is also, we understand very clearly, flow into the consolidated revenue account is bound by the provisions of our Constitution, and obviously, because of the creation of the NNPC by the law, it is required to make direct payments to the institutions that should make those payments to those institutions. And I must also point out that it's an oil and gas company. Everything we do comes from production. And I must also add, Mr. Chairman and co-chairman, that we do not have 100% visibility of all production in the country anymore. We're only accountable for the production that is coming from our joint venture arrangements, the production sharing contracts, and those production that are coming from our wholly owned company called the Nigeria NNPC E&P Company Limited. So whatever numbers we present is not reflective of national production. We can only account for the production that we are accountable for. There are independents that we have no visibility, we have no business with them, we do not know what they are doing, and we'll have no say and no numbers around this. Having said this, Mr. Chairman.
So I think you need to make yourself clear.
Yes.
Nigerians don't understand these technicalities. You don't know what they are doing in the sphere of your project. You need to make it very clear.
Yes, the clarity is this. That's what NNPC is in partnership with multinational companies and local companies, either as joint venture partners or production sharing company partners, contractor partners. So we know everything they are doing in these two arrangements. We also have a wholly owned company, it's called the NNPC E&P Limited, which produces independent of this arrangement, and we know everything this company is doing, and we're accountable for it. What I said we do not have visibility is that you have marginal bill operators, you have independent companies that don't have any relationship with NNPC in terms of oil production or other operations of the oil and gas industry. So only the regulator can account for their production. That's what I mean. So whatever I'm going to say, it is around the production that NNPC is accountable for. Of course, as a matter of due diligence and oversight, we do keep data that we collect from the regulator to make sure that national objectives are met and that we can see other people's contribution, but not as a matter of obligation. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. So these data are public, it's published by the NUPRC, and we all collect the data from the same source to see what even the independents are doing, but by no means we have any responsibility on those people. So having said this, I would like to also point out that in fiscal 2024, now overall, we made about 92% of our planned production, and I'll give you the data subsequently in the written submission. As a national figure, the country did not meet the targeted production for 2024. And secondly, the other element that is critical is price, which is also a major subject of this discussion and financing our budgets in 2025, going forward. Price estimates, as you recall, Mr. Chairman, for 2024 is for $78 to the barrel, but the average at some point, it has actually gone down to even 74, but the average, the price oscillation is in such a way that it has compensated for this, and the country actually made whatever estimates that the value that it will bring has been made by the price balance that it has created. To be very specific, Mr. Chairman, up to that September 2025, as you call Mr. Chairman, we're a private company, so we do quarterly accounts, and by the end of September, I can confirm to you that NNPC's contribution is 10 trillion naira of revenues to the Federation. This I can give you the breakdown. There are corporate taxes, there are payments to NUPRC for operations, there are assets under management that we are handling for you, that's the PSC assets. There are also indirect taxes collected by us and paid to the FIRS, and also dividends that were paid to shareholders on a monthly basis, and also other employee-related taxes and other statutory payments that we make. So we have numbers around this, and I'll also make fiscal submission to you on this. And I must point out, at this point, Mr. Chairman, that NNPC did many things on behalf of the Federation by virtue of the provisions of the PIA. And I must repeat this, Mr. Chairman. The PIA said that NNPC is the supplier of last resort to the Federation. It said that NNPC must continue to provide energy security for the country at a cost to the Federation. So the law is very, very clear. As you recall, price adjustment for petroleum motor spirit, or PMS, only came to finality some months ago, as you recall, until 1st of October 2024. Prior to this and post the the deregulation environment, there were clear reasons, and we understand this and we accept this. There are clear reasons why price adjustment could not be fully effected until 1st of October. Maybe this is not the right platform to speak about, but we completely agree that there was clear basis for us to maintain certain prices until the 1st of October. And this, of course, is at the cost to the Federation and to the rest of us. And ultimately, we could not remit the taxes and royalties when they are due because the obligation to balance the price of the PMS is such that the overall fiscal obligation of the company does not cover it. This is currently a subject of reconciliation between us and the Federation, represented by all the stakeholders, including the tax collector, the NUPRC, the Federation account, the Revenue Mobilization Allocation Committee, so that at the end, we will establish a net position between us and the Federation so that whoever is in the negative will settle the other one. It's either they write a check for us or we write a check for them. This will be the final outcome of this. But as speaks this, I would boldly say that the net position today is that the Federation is owing NNPC Limited. And this will be a subject of reconciliation, and we are also proposing that not just end with the reconciliation, we are also requesting that forensic audit be conducted so that to establish that position between us and the Federation and as a company. We'll be very happy to cooperate with either this committee or the Federation or FAC or any institution that is interested to conduct a forensic audit of this so that at the end we have the real numbers to deal with. Otherwise, we have reported everything we have done. Our taxman is here. Perhaps if not for the subsidy issue, we know clearly by every standard and records, NNPC is the highest tax-paying institution in the country, and we are very proud of this. And also the highest payer of royalties to the Federation, and also the highest payer of dividends from any business. Very understandable also. We are an $80 billion company, we understand this. But we are meeting all our obligations. We proudly say that by the close of this year, this company will pay dividend estimated at about 3.5 trillion naira at the end of the year. We have more ambitions for 2025. It will exceed this, and I will not speak to it because the board of directors of the company will meet next week to finalize our budget on all our expectations for 2025. And at that point, I will give you data with finality around the expectations for both taxes, royalties, and also the dividend that will come. But I can assure you that in all cases, they will be far above the position that we are holding today in 2024. That is not to say that we do not have estimates today. We have our expectation. We believe that Mr. President's declaration of a budget level of 2.06 billion total national, including that of independence, is realistic and is realizable. And also the price estimates that is before the National Assembly is also realistic and is reliable. We do not see a sub-$80 oil in average even in 2024. So we know that this will also be made. Our precise contribution, Mr. Chairman, by end of next week, while confirming that the President's numbers are realistic and realizable, we will give you precise NNPC people's contribution to the national basket by next week when we complete the board of directors. I'm sure you will allow me that I should take it to governance so that the board of directors of the company will endorse this for me. Thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you, the Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPC.
Co-chairman, distinguished colleagues, Mr. Chairman, I just want to
introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
The group CEO of NNPC seems to fall below the standard of what we're used to. For the simple fact that for everybody who has come for budget presentation has come with documents, facts and figures, and we're able to look at the figures as they present. Mr. Chairman, I'm afraid that I won't be surprised that other agencies will come to this place and do the same thing. This presentation is what I will call a variable presentation. You cannot hold anything and no facts. And I want to also say again that, Mr. Chairman, this presentation does not provide for transparency. Please. And I do not see any reason why he can prepare for a budget defense. I cannot provide the documents for members. I do not see any other organ of government who has a responsibility to oversee and oversight its own areas of operation. So I have doubts, Mr. Chairman. I have doubts. I have doubts. And I don't know whether my colleagues are comfortable with it. But I'm not comfortable.
No, thank you.
Then my questions, this is going to say everything. We can just note a few things down. Is it possible for us to know, is it possible for him to tell us what was the turnover? He has told us he contributed 10B to the Federation account. 10 T to the Federation. Is it possible to tell us the turnover, the actual, the budgeted and the actual, then the budgeted and the actual expenditure, and possibly if they have, since it's a limited liability company now, proofs of audited accounts for members to also peruse and see whether this decision that government has taken to privatize the NNPC is a good thing or not. Because policies come and policies are subject to adjustment where there is a need. But what is happening today, Mr. Chairman, I don't know. And he's saying again that they are going to do a reconciliation, the Federation account is owing NNPC. So, and with no figures to look and rest of them, Mr. Chairman, I have my doubts. I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, most distinguished.
The question is simple, but also very critical. CEO, I'm trying to raise an important question, sir. CEO is not paying attention. As somebody who has extensive experience in the industry of over 20 years, something worries me. And my name is Osita, I represent the West. The question is, do you have any program, any pipeline program for our aging pipelines? Nigeria currently is producing crude, or ranked as the highest in the cost of production. And we know some of the parameters that contributed to our high cost of production, which is that we are evacuating our crude using an unconventional method. Crude is supposed to be evacuated through pipeline, but we have gone into badging of our products. And this badging, the consequence is that we can't even produce above a certain limit because you cannot have all the badges moving your crudes. There's nowhere in the world that crude is evacuated through badging. Do we have an exit plan from this dangerous practice that is making us to lose millions and billions of dollars? If you have an exit plan, what is that exit plan? Someone told me that if you have people who are supposed to be responsible to produce a pipeline program, also involved in budget, that it means budget will stay. Still, I think we need clear answers to this critical question, because that is why we are losing so much money and we can't even have more production outside the security issues.
Thank you.
Questions are very helpful, and I'll use 3 minutes to clarify them, so that some members of this committee are also members of the other committees, and they may find it very, very useful. Let me start. We do have, and that's why I said, Mr. President, estimate submitted, the executive estimate submitted to the National Assembly of 2.06 is realistic and is realizable. That is why I started. So whatever contribution is expected from NNPC, we'll meet it and perhaps even exceed it. We are aware that our contribution should be 1.88 million barrels per day from our own businesses and related businesses. And what I really said is that we will take it to the board of directors as becomes an obligation, as an internal budget matter for us to deal with. That's really the point I'm making. I'm not saying we don't know what productions will look like in 2020. So we do a contribution that is allocated to us. There's a substantial engagement between us and the budget office and our shareholders to agree with those numbers that we can deliver it. So I confirm that the numbers you have in the budget is realizable and is realistic. Secondly, I also don't want to speak about the financing estimates. I confirm the pricing is realistic, the production is realistic. But there are two things that I have to take to the board of directors, which is the basis of our estimates. As you can tell, the estimate you have for exchange rate is different from what we take as a company. Every company sees it very, very differently. And therefore, while you have the budget estimates for exchange rate, we have a different one. I would like my board of directors to adopt that. Then I will give you a bulk figure of what our fiscal contributions will be in 2021, bearing in mind that we'll meet the production targets, and also we are also comfortable with the pricing estimates that we have. So that means we will meet the estimates that you have, what we have with you. That's the point I'm trying to make. Otherwise, it will be nowhere nowhere smaller than the 10 trillion that I have mentioned before. It will be bigger than this. But allow me to just confirm to you that we will meet those targets that are in the budget. That's why I did not bring a submission, but I will wait for that to do this. It's not by any means, it's not disrespect, but I'm sure you will also agree with me, Mr. Chairman, you created the PIA that should follow the corporate governance in that you established in the law yourselves. Then production, there's a question around turnover of NNPC and the worries around the Senator. There's nothing to bother. We are published, including our 2023 financials, is in the space. It's posted in our web page, and we'll post our 2024 budget, which includes the turnover, the taxes that we have paid, and every transaction that we have done in the company is in public space, and we're not hiding anything. We are complete. Probably we are the only company, let me put this straight, we are the only company that publishes 100% of its books of accounts. No company does this. People play around with it, and Chairman FRS is here. No company does it, and we challenge any company to come out and post their total books of accounts as we are published. No company does this. And we're very proud of this as NNPC, and this is a requirement that we committed ourselves because we're a partner company to the global EITI, which requires that company must publish 100% of their book of accounts and their financial statement. Nobody does this. People publish one page. You don't have the whole story. It's just a summary. We have 100%, including the turnover at the agenda. Thank you very much for calling my attention to this. Also, pipeline, and I think it's a good time to speak to this. Today, no matter what estimate we do for production, it is very obvious that for land production, shallow water and land production, security is an issue. Without mincing words, vandal action on our pipeline is real. Also, oil theft is real. Now, is there a check? Yes, absolutely, and I'm aware and I can share this with you. There's enormous intervention by Mr. President, which has resulted in very, very significant decline in the activities of the vandals and oil theft. And that is why between June and November this year, we recovered 29% of production. This is history, no country has done this. And this is as a result of the safety of the asset that we have, which there's I don't want to speak about security here, but I know that there's enormous work that is being done, led by the NSA and other team members on the directive of Mr. President and his panel. Therefore, security is a key issue, but security is not the only problem we have. We have asset integrity issues, which the single senator has mentioned. Some of our pipelines are created older than most people in this room, but some of them are 55 years and even more. So there is a clear issue of integrity issues in some of the pipelines, and we have taken very bold steps to replace the pipeline, the major trunk lines, through a HDD mechanism. It means that we are going to bury it at least 40 meters underground so that no ordinary thief, I think a sophisticated thief can still get it. So no ordinary thief can get to it. That means you need a rig, like you do drilling over water to get to the pipe. And I think we can contain that easily if that happens. So we have taken a bold step to replace the Majortron, the Transfocator, the NCTL, the DNP, all of them. We have commenced a process for replacement of this, but I assure you of this. And lastly, the refinery will be sold. Actually, we are looking for buyers, so product, if you are selling product, please come and meet us. Thank you very much.
Agents is a corporation for the financial reporting. Not until we see it, we will not comment yet. But as I said, as you said earlier, you don't mind forensic auditing of the activities. Our own major concern is the revenue drive, especially when it comes to where there are some claims. So the issue of that reconciliation, I think the committee is very much interested in it, and we will appreciate. We have full details of those claims. Where the committee will appreciate to have full details of those claims, and then we will look at them, scrutinize them too, and then we will see from there if there will be need, if the reconciliation is not coming up, because this reconciliation has been going on for a very long time. And there is need for us, since we've been able to close off the issue in October, in terms of whatever NNPC is doing in order to meet the gap. So once we get those details, we'll be able to now clarify if there will be need for any forensic auditing. From your submission also, you did mention that you can categorically explain about your own revenue drive in terms of the production from you. Yesterday, NUPRC, the CEO NUPRC was here, and he has given us that detail. From what you have explained and what he did yesterday, I think my distinguished colleagues and honorable members are here. I don't think there is any variance. So I believe we are on the right track. And with the optimism I have seen from the group chief executive of NNPC, I believe that the revenue projection we have here is very feasible. And we want to also look at the possibility of NNPC telling us that they can even do more than what he has mentioned, so that we'll be very comfortable. So whatever fluctuations that will come either in the pricing or in the production, we will still be able to meet up the targets. With this, I don't know if my co-chairman have anything more to add. Not. So we can now discharge an NPC.